When the 9 spirals still kept watch over the Sapphire Reach, there ruled a Star-Lord named Arkon, third son of old Sviator, keeper of the ring fortress Cael Danube, that wheeled its iron circles round the ember sun of Vea. Proud he was, and restless as a nova in its youth. When word came the tidings, borne on wounded light, that the iron herds of the Chimar had scorched the outer worlds and dragged whole cities screaming into frostbound sleep, Arkon's heart beat thunder against his ribs. He climbed the obsidian deck beneath 3 silver moons and spoke, while torches of cold fire trembled in the void. Shall we huddle behind walls of neutron steel while Chimar Khans drink starlight from our daughters' skulls? The blood of Sviator runs hot. The solar wind itself is singing. Let us ride. From cautious task came Varan's warning on a narrow beam. The twin suns have devoured one another. The Stormlord hides his face. Wait. Arkon laughed, sharp as shattered crystal. I forge my own dawn. So the night-black longships rose, 400 living blades of alloy and hunger, and vanished down the ghost roads of the dark. 9 days they skimmed the silent rivers of the deep. On the 10th, they fell like iron rain upon the violet meadows of Sirkaya, where grass drank starlight, and the wind tasted of blood to come. The first battle was honey on the tongue. Lances of white fire reaped the startled herds. Talks of sung gold, casks of nebula mead, and maidens with winter in their eyes were gathered as lightly as fallen stars. Arkon stood upon a smoking war engine and cried aloud, "One more stroke, and the ash veil itself shall kneel." Varan the wild aurochs shook his horned helm. "We have roused the swarm, brother," Arkon answered, soft as death. "Better a brief blaze than a long dim candle." That night the suns eclipsed again, black, slow, and merciless. Blood rain hissed on armor. The meadow drank and turned to scarlet glass. The void priests wept plasma tears. At dawn the sky itself was Chimar. Millions of iron wings eclipsed the light. Gorzak and Konya, twin Khans in gilded bone, unfurled banners sewn from the hides of worlds. Along a ridge of night glass the clans locked shield to shield. 9 times the tide broke against them. 9 times recoiled in molten ruin. Varan roared like the aurochs of his banner. Young Volodar's lance wrote crimson runes across the sky. On the 3rd dawn the ridge shattered. A spear of light took Arkon through the thigh. He could no longer stride the throne of war. His oath ring died where they stood, a wall of flesh and iron and song. The Chimar closed. Arkon lived, chained in chains of frozen gravity. Varan fell with 14 wounds, still singing. Only Volodar and a remnant fled into the violet sea, hunted like comets with broken tails. Across the reach the women raised their keen. Yrsa, Arkon's lady, daughter of Galen's Spur, climbed the highest spire of Cael Danube and loosed her grief upon the dark. Great wind of the deep lanes, why hurl you Chimar arrows at my heart? Bright river Danya, threaded through the night. You cradled heroes once, why not my Arkon's raven sails? Twin sons, my brothers, why veil your faces when our blood froze hard as rubies on alien ground? Her tears rose, froze, and kindled comets that still bear her sorrow's name. Yet Arkon's soul burned on. Khan Konir, half in wonder, gave him a cage of gold upon the palace moon, and one servant, sly Ovler, a boy once stolen from the Reach, now neither wholly theirs nor ours. When the twin sons failed and the Khans lay drowned in star milk, Ovler slew the cage with silent hands, brought stolen scale and a needle sled hidden deep in whispering grass. "Fly, Lord, my soul is already half their dust. I stay." Arkon clasped him once. "Your name will outlive empires." 11 nights he fled, through asteroid shoals sharp as grief, past the jaws of newborn singularities, once dueling Konaya's air atop a moon that burned like a funeral pyre. When his sled was charred bone and his flesh glowed with slow poison, the beacons of Cael Danube answered at last. He fell, a dying star, into the square before holy Sophia above the void. The bells rang without mortal hands. Yrsa ran barefoot across the frost. The survivors, fewer than 40 ships worth, lifted him between them, a man half legend, half wound. Arkon knelt among the ancient icons and whispered to the listening dark, "Never again for glory alone." The veil of silence, the dark took him, but the star-bards of the latter ages sang no oath of caution. They sang the eclipse and the blood rain, Varan the wild aurochs, the violet oceans of Sirkaya, Yrsa's grief that kindled wandering fires still seen on long winter nights. They sang of the Lord, who rode for deathless fame, and bought it with the brightest blood of the Reach, and how even the old sky gods wept plasma when bold men perish far from the hearths of home beneath the indifferent stars. Glory to Arkon's host, Glory to the night-black sails that dared the ash veil and broke. Though the ships are dust and the reach itself grown dim, the lay drifts on, carried by the wind between the worlds, soft as static, enduring as light. And wherever wanderers of the 9 spirals still steer their lonely courses, that wind will whisper, faint and fierce, Arkon, Varan, Irsa, Ovlea, names brighter than any sun they failed to bring home,